Hi, it's Sylvia, and this is the second part of my Edinburgh Bookhaul, and hopefully the last one. I know I bought a lot of books while I was away, but sometimes that's just okay to do. And this part will be with all the French books I bought, the poetry collections, and one Japanese author. And so I think I'll start with the Japanese author because he is all alone. This book I bought solely based on Shamina's wonderful review. I will link it down below because you have to see it. It's just splendid in my opinion. And that's Kobo Abbe, The Woman in the Dunes. And this is about a man who is out searching for insects, and he spent the night in a village that he finds among a lot of sand dunes. And when he wakes up, he finds out that he is held prisoner in a sand pit. And in this sand pit there is a house and a woman, and the story is about him trying to escape and also his realization that he might not ever be able to get away from this place. Shamina said it was emotionally draining, and I was just like, it's a book for me. I need to read it. Then over to the French books. And the first book should just have a label with Silly on it because it's the perfect book for me. And not because it's short stories, but because it's short stories set in Paris and in certain streets of Paris. And it has a lot of authors I have never heard about, and I think that's awesome. And it also have authors like Émile Zola and Simone de Beauvoir. But I'm always excited when I get to know new authors as well. But the coolest thing about this collection is that I know all the streets, I think. Almost every street. I can't wait for the summer when I can just read a short story and then go out there and find the street and just be in the story. This is just a book for me. I don't know what to say. At the moment I am currently reading At the Existentialist Cafe by Sarah Bakewell, and that book is just perfect for me at the moment. I find it to be so intriguing and interesting, and it just resonates with me. Every moment when I'm not reading the book, I am thinking about it, and it has made me want to read every single author and philosopher that I mentioned in this book so far. It's just superb. Two main people in this book is of course Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir. So I went out searching for books by them, and I found some. I found this one is Le Belles Images by de Beauvoir, and I have no clue what this book is about at all. It has no synopsis. I think it's about... Now I won't guess what it's about. I really like the cover though. It's like the 1970 retro look, or it's probably printed in the 70s. But yeah, I look forward to read it regardless of what it's about. And then I have another book that I won't be reading for quite some time because it's all said and done. It's a final volume of her autobiography, and I haven't read any of her others, so now I have it. The Second World War and the correspondence between Sartre and de Beauvoir is talked about in the book I'm currently reading, and I found the letters. And this is The Quiet Moment in the War, the letters of Jean-Paul Sartre to Simone de Beauvoir, 1940 to 1963. So now I can read his own words, and that excites me. One of my goals this year is to read more French authors, and one of the authors I would like to delve into is Georges Perec. And I do own Life, a User's Manual, but that book is so huge. It's, I don't know, 700-800 pages or something. So I was pretty happy when I found this book in the bookstore. And that's W, or The Memory of Childhood by Georges Perec. It's kind of tiny. And this book has two stories that is alternating. It's a story about childhood, and it's a story about W. And W is an island state which is based on the rules of sport. And it says on the back, as the two tales move in and out of focus, the disturbing truth about the island of W reveals itself. And I've heard a lot of great things about this by fellow book bloggers, and they have told me that it is kind of scary and terrifying. Hopefully I will be reading this quite soon. In December, I think, I did a review of Sweet Français by Irene Nemirovsky. And in that video I also showed you all the books by her that I own but haven't read yet. I still haven't read them, but you know, I found two more. So I had to have them. The first one is The Wine of Solitude, and this is written when she was quite young. I think it's based on her real life. It's a tale about an unhappy family. I think they are living in Ukraine or Lithuania in the beginning, and then they are moving to France. And this unhappy family has a daughter that is both angry and revengeful. And yeah, I think this will be a good read. Along with this one is also about a woman. She is older, is at trial for murdering her young lover, and it's about her life and the loss of youth. So, Nemirovsky. Then we have a little mistake, or not a mistake, but I thought that this author was Jean Cocteau, but it's not, it's Jean Genet. And this is The Miracle of the Rose, and he is mentioned as an acquaintance of Sartre and de Beauvoir, so it all ties together. He was a criminal before he became an author, and this is his novelization of his time in jail. And the description on the back reminds me of The Enchanted by René Denfield. And I think it's because they're both about prisoners and about one inmate in special who is trying to make life in prison better by creating his own world with his imagination. So yeah, this one. I hope it's kind of the same thing, but I don't know. The next two books are written by an author I haven't read anything of before, but at the same time it was one of the authors that I was really curious about and that I went into the bookshop looking for some reason. And that's Andre Gide. He is also a friend or acquaintance of Beauvoir and Sartre, and he's a well-known French author. And the first book is Strait is the Gate, and it's a novel about young love and how religion and possession, I think, can turn young love into a tragedy. I'm also very pleased that I found the old Penguin edition because they're just so cute. The other one is If I Die. No. The other one is If I Die or Si le grand ne meurt. And this is his autobiography. And it tells about his childhood in Paris and him growing up, getting married, and about his marriage. Then we have something completely random. The book isn't French, but it's a biography of a French author. And that's Colette by Nicole Ward Jouve or something. And Colette was a French author. She wrote Gigi and Chérie and the Claudine books. I haven't read anything by her, but I own some of her books, so I am determined to read something by her soonish. And I remember watching a movie called Gigi when I was a kid, and I do think that's based on her Gigi, but I am not completely sure. But I remember really liking that, and it's always interesting to get to know authors better. So I have it, and I will read it when I have the time. The last books are the poetry, and I found it to be quite difficult to talk about poetry, but all the collections have something in common. And that's because when I buy poetry, I am always reading some of the poetry in the bookstore to get a feeling of it. I read several of the poems, and they all have in common the feeling that they hit me, they hit a nerve, they did something with me, and made me want to read more. So I just needed them. And they are kind of different. I do think some of them have similar themes. Or the first one is Tempest, Hold Your Own. This is based on the myths of Tiresias, the blind prophet. And it's several longer poems collected. I have her newest spoken word poem, Let Them Eat Chaos, and I haven't finished that yet, but I really liked what I read so far, and it was the same thing with this collection. It's just something that speaks to me. Then we have a new collection called Stranger Baby by Emily Berry. And this is about loss and grieving and the ocean, and yeah, the first two poems are beautiful. Then it's Falling Awake by Alice Oswald. She won the Costa Poetry Award 2016. She also uses some Greek myths. Yeah, the next poetry collection is a collection that hit me the hardest, and the first poem gave me goosebumps, and it was just, I felt like I needed all of this, but this one is the one that I needed the most, and that's Beautiful Girls by Melissa Lee Houghton, and it says on the back, Beautiful Girls is not a book for the faint-hearted. The reader has been invited to a sleepover at the asylum, a night in which 5-year-old girls drift alone through the wards, and where heaven is a place between the sky and the planets, reserved for those with personality disorders. Beautiful Girls will survive, a testament to poetry's force in overcoming. This really hit me in the gut. I love Sylvia Plath. I love Ariel, but I never read the Colossus. So No, I can't. The last book is Selected Poems by Langston Hughes. I know that Didi at Brown Girl Reading really likes his poems, and I'm pretty sure that Monica also do, and also Adrian at Slipcover Lit recommended his poetry to me. So I went searching in the bookstore, found it, found a chair and started reading, and this is just gorgeous. And it's like kind of different from a lot of poetry I read, but at the same time it's so familiar, and it speaks to me in some sort of way, and it really resonates with me. I really look forward to dive into his poetry. That was all the books I bought in Edinburgh. Hopefully I won't do any more book hauls until like 2020 or something. I would like to know if you have read any of these books, or you want to read some of them, or if you have read other books by the same authors, or yeah, tell me anything you like. I'm also curious to hear what your favorite philosophers are and why, and please recommend me some poetry. I am always curious to discover new poets. Yeah, I think that's all. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Yeah, you can talk in the comments. And until next time, ha det!